Just got back from the movie theater after seeing Logan, and that was heavy emotionally. So Logan is obviously a movie that takes place within the X-Men universe, only this time around, rather than there being a lot of X-Men involved with everything, it sort of takes place in this kind of dystopian future where mutants have kind of died out and are no longer really prevalent in society. As to what exactly happened to all the mutants, that's kind of a mystery as the movie goes along, and it sort of keeps you wondering what might happen and what exactly they're going to reveal about where the mutants went and what sort of the future is for mutant kind, essentially. So given this current state of things, we have a very old, very worn down Wolverine, as well as a very old and very frail Charles Xavier, who are basically just trying to exist in their own world as it currently is for them, when things kind of get a wrench thrown into them when they discover another young mutant. Now obviously if you've seen the trailers, you know that it's this little girl, and if you know the character of Wolverine and Logan in general, you know that he's generally going to resist from being any kind of parental figure or mentor figure for somebody young, because he doesn't want to deal with it. That's who Wolverine is, and so we get to see that throughout basically an entire movie, and as you would guess, there's going to be walls that get broken down, kind of relationships that are built, and it's really, really good. Now I will say that as opposed to most X-Men movies, which showcase a lot of special effects and superpowers and neat costumes, this movie is very, very rugged. There's still a lot of that kind of futuristic aspect to things that are involved with the movie taking place in the year 2029, I believe, but all in all, it feels very much more down to earth, and again, very rugged, especially in comparison with other X-Men films. It's also another R-rated superhero movie, which in general is still largely uncharted territory. Obviously, Deadpool last year broke a lot of ground, becoming one of the highest grossing R-rated movies ever, and showing that people will still flock to theaters for a movie that has really bad language and basically horrific violence. I will say this about Logan: if Deadpool was Marvel and comic book movies in general dipping their toe into the waters of an R-rated movie, Logan would probably be better likened to a 350-pound guy doing a belly flop off an Olympic diving platform. In other words, the violence is ramped way the hell up, but in a way that feels fitting to how Wolverine would be and sort of how he would fight and how he would attack people within a character that has all kinds of rage. Literally, I think if you've ever had a gripe about Wolverine in past movies, maybe being too tame with what he does with his claws, I think you will be very satisfied with Logan seeing the things that they do, because I can't imagine what else they really could have done violence-wise than what we got in this movie, and it's, I mean, if you're into that, I mean, I'm not even huge on violence, but honestly, it's one of those things of like, no way in hell they're gonna do that, oh my god, they did that. Now, obviously, I don't want to say too much more about the plot, and I don't want to have any spoilers in this review, but obviously, as you could guess, Logan's resistant to do anything with this little girl in the beginning, and as the movie goes along, he warms up to her. That, in a lot of ways, is the premise of the plot, but there's also a lot more going on that sort of deepens the connection between Logan, between the girl, between Charles Xavier, and a lot of the characters they interact with along the way. And along with that, I have to give this movie a ton of credit for blending in the absolutely shocking violence that they did within this movie to also have the complete opposite side of the pendulum and have it be very emotional as well, to where when the movie ended, it was as emotionally weighed down as I felt like I've been in a movie theater in a very, very long time, in not necessarily a sad way or an excited way, but just a whole range of feelings that kind of was just like, holy shit, they did that, and it was that good. And I'll say one of the other biggest takeaways that I had with this movie that I was kind of mesmerized by throughout the entire thing is that Hugh Jackman is absolutely unbelievable in this movie, to the point where afterwards I'm talking with my friends and it was like, he has to get at least an Oscar nomination for this. I believe his performance was that good. It was absolutely spectacular in my book. And if I'm pinning down the best performances ever in a comic book movie / superhero movie, this is probably it, and I can't think of anything else that's even close. So with that said, Academy, don't fuck this up and at least give him a nomination. I know superhero movies kind of don't really ever get the recognition when it comes to Oscar night, but a good performance is a good performance, and this was undeniably a great performance. In the end, guys, Logan is absolutely fantastic. I know it's only been a week since I last gushed about how good a movie was that I had recently seen with my review of Get Out, but this is back-to-back weeks that a very, very fantastic movie has been released. It is very rated R. I will definitely say that beforehand going in, so if you're a grown-up that has kids, don't take them to see this. Anyway, that is my thoughts on the movie Logan. Again, I absolutely loved it. Would be really curious to know what other people thought. If you felt the same wave of emotion as I did, whatever you thought about it, please be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it. I always appreciate that. But above all else, everybody, thank you so much for watching.